You're damn right it is. It's Mike Chaffee and Tyler Lau. We Live Fantasy, breaking down the Shriners golf tournament this weekend for the PGA Tour at TPC Summerlin. Tyler, how the heck are you doing today?
Not terrible.
Not terrible. Good.
Ready for the Roval over golf, but let's do this.
I bet you are, but we got to do something to fill our time. So that's why we're going to break down Shriners and the NFL Thursday Night Football. And then we'll have a ton of NASCAR for you this week. Tyler's going to be boots on the ground at the Roval, going to be having fun. And my fingers are crossed, Tyler, for you guys to get some rain so you could witness a rain race, because that would be really cool. That would be really cool.
That might screw up some lineups, though.
No, I think road racers are road racers. And if anything, it'll just help because we'll have McDowell. But anyway, back to Shriners, TPC Summerlin. I don't mean to brag, but I'm a little bit of an expert at this course now because I played it in a video game last night. I played the new PGA Tour video game, played TPC Summerlin. I played it twice. I'm just kidding you all. I'm not an expert at this course just because you played on a video game. If that were the case, I'd be in NASCAR and a Super Bowl winning quarterback with all the Madden and NASCAR heat I've played. So there's that. So DeChambeau, Cantlay, a lot of big studs in the field this week. It's one of the strongest fields the Shriners has ever seen. And I mean, I'm finding a ton of value from like 8,000 down, as you'll read in the write-up, and I'm finding a lot of value, which is helping us pay up for some of these guys who just dominate this golf course at 7,200 yards. And we have a lot of course history, and course history directly correlates to the guy all the way on top of this price board for this slate, Bryson DeChambeau. What a stud at this golf course, and that was even before the pre-steroid era.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's we all know he's a bomber. He's been killing it, especially a couple weeks ago here at the Open. He could overpower this course, I think. I think he's definitely a play. The problem is I think a lot of people are going to have him. There's other people up here above, the 10K range that I like. You mentioned Cantlay. As far as stats go, I mean, he seems like your guy.
Yeah, it's almost when you think of like a horse for the course. I mean, his name just automatically pops up with this golf course. I mean, everything I read, he even beats DeChambeau in DraftKings points all time here. So that's cool. That's really cool. Bryson DeChambeau, I really like this week. How can you not? Coming off the U.S. Open in the end, we've read a lot of articles on him. We've seen a lot of stuff, over the years. But the coolest articles on him that I've read is the ones that have come out after the U.S. Open, because it seems like he has that monkey off his back. Everyone's been kind of making fun and mocking everything he's done and the science behind the game, which is what he really loves and enjoys. I'm not going to lie to you. When Zach and I worked in the golf industry still, we made fun of him for the way he was lining up the ball and finding the center of the ball and, and using the same clubs. Like when Cobra released those irons where they were all the same length, we were still in the golf industry, and we thought it was the craziest damn thing we've ever seen. But it goes to show you there's no one way. There's no one way in golf, which is why it's so crazy. But he's figured out a way to minimize the risk and the cone of error, or as the fancy term, dispersion rate and spin rates and all that. I mean, it's amazing. And, I've never played Summerlin besides on a video game, and my guy was hitting it like 270, 280 on average, I would say, my little avatar golfing guy. And I still had really good looks into some holes with some like wedges and stuff like that, and like good looks with par fives and stuff like that. So I can imagine hitting it as far as he hits it, and if it's straight, he's gonna be scoring, and his putting is just off the charts too. So
yeah. I mean, he even that article that we read about him. I mean, he basically referred to Eastlake as one of the places that gives him problems without giving up his secrets. But he said, he's like, if I could just drive it off the tee and not have to think about it and wedge it in, he goes, my putting's on. He's like, I'll be fine, and he will. He will. I think
Yeah.
he could easily go low. I think he could run away with it. So he's definitely a pick. Unfortunately, I usually like to fade the noise and the favorite, but it's hard not to, especially the way he's been playing and how good he is.
Yeah. So if you do click DeChambeau, the one caveat to all this and playing him, it puts you right at $7,600. But the good news is there's a lot of value down there that we'll get to later. Webb Simpson, first tournament back of this year. Listen, I've won a lot of money with Webb Simpson. He's a guy you never have to worry about. But just, I mean, I really would rather have Cantlay, and I would rather have DeChambeau if I'm going to be paying up that high. I will ride the Webb Simpson train a little bit later. I think Augusta, things like that. I'm going to hold off on my Simpson prowess. He's got a ton of rounds here. He's really good here, but
the last 3 years he hasn't really. I mean, he's just done just above average for him, barely. So I'd rather take Cantlay and DeChambeau here.
And just to compare real quick for us playing DraftKings points, Cantlay first all-time DraftKings points, DeChambeau third all-time DraftKings points here, and Simpson's at 9th. So take that.
So you have no concern with Cantlay coming off that, pretty rough performance at the U.S. Open?
No, and here's why is, like we talked about, golf's so crazy a million times, and how you can have those days. And there's literally, when you get to a level like these guys are, when you get to a course that fits you and fits your eye and that you really like, you just let it go. You just rip it. I mean, his putting here, his strokes gained total, his approach, his off the tee, everything, and like all systems go.
I agree.
For Cantlay for me.
I agree. I don't think Finau is a play at all. I think that's way too overpriced for me.
It is. Finau.
I'd rather drop down into our 9K range and grab a few people that are shiny.
Yeah, and Finau, his only red flag here is putting. He's 117th putting here at TBC Summerlin. Other than that, I mean, I don't think I've ever paid over $10,000 for Finau in my life, and I don't think that's going to start this weekend. I might eat those words, and I think I exactly said that in the Shiners for Shriners write-up that's on the website. But whatever, I'll live. I can live with myself.
Yeah,
I can live with myself. Fun fact of the day is Hideki Matsuyama has some great numbers here over the years. I lost it. I'm sorry, folks. 17th overall DraftKings points here. 13th strokes gained. Tee to green, 8th. Ball striking, 9th. So he likes to play well out here. The thing about Matsuyama is always been his putting. And the past 2 tournaments he's played in, I've heard the commentators both say how much better his putting stroke's gotten. So,
well, that's what you're going to need here.
Yeah, and I think, what the hell else has he been doing for the past few weeks? Then I mean, if it was me, I mean, you could pay me $180,000 a year to play golf, just flat rate, just play golf all day. That'd be cool with me. And I tell you what, I'd be the best goddamn putter you've ever seen. I mean, I might not.
Denny McCarthy's got that title pretty solid. Right?
Yeah. I mean, so if you're making the Hideki Matsuyama money, I'm sure he's doing nothing but figuring out a putter, figuring out what works to come out this year, because he's good everywhere else except for putting every time. So next up, my favorite play of the week, Colin Morikawa, resides in Las Vegas. And you want to talk stats, that homeboy gets her done every time he tees it up, and I do not even have to worry about him making a cut. and locking it in. He plays a lot of desert golf, and with his stats that he has, he's hard not to click this week. And it's hard saying that because I can't go Morikawa English because English is so highly priced this week too. So that really stinks because I, for some reason, always wind up gravitating to English after I click someone really highly priced, and I can't do that this week. So that stinks.
No, because he is up there.
Yeah, he is up there. He is up there, man. That's a steep price, but finally he's getting the recognition that he deserves because he's been playing so good. It's like the Eric Jones effect or the Justin Haley effect in Cup and Xfinity. He was just so low priced for so long, and you can't.
Now they finally caught up.
The past 3 months, per Fantasy National, past 3 months, he is number 1 strokes gained total and makes the top 10 list for DraftKings points for the past 3 months. He's number 6 putting. He's number 1 short game, and tee to green is 8th. Him and Morikawa are right there. I haven't built one with both of them in a lineup together, but they're both right there, both good plays. And if you think about it, I mean, those are pretty good numbers, to go up and battle and pivot off of the DeChambeau Cantlay there as well.
But you would take English over Wolf.
Well, listen, they're both right there. If you look at strokes gained total, they're both top 5. Okay. If you look at DraftKings points, they're both top 10. So this little realm right here of Morikawa, English, Wolf is a good way to kind of start lineups out. If you click all 3 of those guys, that leaves you at 6,900, pretty damn close to if you were to just click Bryson DeChambeau.
Right,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? And then we can build with that, and you can go any way you want with that. And you can go 2 of them. You can go 1 of them. If you're looking for strokes gained total, short game, and around the greens and DraftKings points, the only thing that Harris English really has on Matthew Wolff is putting. Harris English is 6th the past 3 months. Matthew Wolff is 61st. And Matthew Wolff's short game and around the greens are worse. Where Harris English is 1 in short game and 1 around the greens, Matthew Wolff is 71st and 85th. But Matthew Wolff also is the best ball striker and 4th tee to green, which beats Harris English. So I don't think you can go wrong with either of them. But that's for balance builds. I've been starting right there.
Yeah, I think you could.
With any of those guys there.
Absolutely.
I've built 23 lineups so far.
And you have no Jason Day.
I have no Jason Day. Once again, could bite me in the ass, but if I'm in this range, I'm picking M and Scheffler solely based on the fact that those guys have been playing week to week. I know what I'm getting with those guys. And
you never know what you're getting with Scheffler.
Yeah, but Scheffler can also shoot 59, and he did make the FedEx Cup playoffs and played really well. So he's been hot. He knocked the rust off that first round. He shot 1 over and then came back and played Scotty Scheffler golf. So
yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. And I'm sure he's having fun in Las Vegas. He probably is hitting it a fucking mile. Sung J M, if you're there in that price range, there's guys around there that you can pivot off of. If you think Sung J M's gonna be, I probably have Sung J M in about 5 of my lineups so far. He's just hasn't been Sung J, so it's hard. And I was having trouble playing Sung J in the 8s like a few weeks ago. Now he's in the 9s, and I haven't really gotten there yet. Have you?
No, I'm actually paying down. I will get to Scheffler, unfortunately, because every time I don't play him, he does well. So I feel like I just got to take a few of them every single week.
Yeah, and he's top 5 DraftKings points.
Yeah, I mean, so you got to have him. But from Scheffler, I think my next one, even on my radar, is Usti.
Yeah, he. I touched on him in the article. I think his worst finish since July is 31st.
Yeah. So how do you not have him in your lineups?
Why is he 8,800? Like, why? Louis Oosthuizen is also top 20 in DraftKings points, top 20 in strokes gained total, and all his numbers. His worst number is 41st, and that's on approach. I'm not worried about clicking Louis Oosthuizen into a lineup at all.
Yeah, I would do it. The other one here, surprise, is Answer. I obviously have a little spot in my heart
Of course,
for Answer,
of course.
And I'm going to put him in a couple lineups. I don't know that he's the right play. I don't know that I can tell people to do that or pick him, but I'm going to.
Yeah, he's a heart pick. He's a
He
heart
is.
pick, and I tell you what, I touched on him too. And my thing with Answer is that this is a golf course that is manageable for him. He's not the longest guy in the world. And at Harbor Town, he played really well, where a lot of guys were hitting irons and stuff off the tee. I don't think you're going to see a lot of irons off the tee here, but it's a manageable course. It's 7,200. The past couple courses he's been playing have been over 7,400. And I think it's a manageable course. If you look at straight numbers, like if you're a member of Fantasy National, or you're looking at our spreadsheets or anything, it doesn't look good.
No.
It doesn't look good.
No.
It really doesn't. I have not built any Kevin Na lineups yet. I'm only 23 lineups in, maxing out the dime time, maxing out quarter entry. I'll be maxing the $1.20 entry max. I built my $10 dart, and I'll probably do a little $3, $5 single entries, and depending on how frisky I feel, we'll see where I go with 50-cent lobby this week. We'll see.
How far you go? How many you put in?
Yeah, it just depends how I'm feeling. I'm really feeling so. On WeLiveFantasy.com, I did the write-up Shiners for Shriners. I did the top 10 list of DraftKings points, strokes gained, and approach, which I feel is one of the most important things this week.
Absolutely.
And then I thought about it, and I sat there off of the main core 4, and I made a pivot core 4, which I freaking love. I absolutely love it. I love it. We'll get to that when we finish with this, but I just absolutely love it. Surprise! I don't have any Zach Johnson yet. All the numbers look good for Zach Johnson, but I just haven't gotten there. I don't know why, but a name that popped.
Last year he missed the cut here.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's kind of a different animal this year.
I know. He ends up in Millie lineups.
Unfortunately, he's a different animal, Millie lineup maker. Russell Henley, strokes gained approach was number 1 and was top 30 in DraftKings points. Zalatoris, a lot of people have been burned on Zalatoris since this 2021 wraparound season kind of started. And it might be the week. Zalatoris still kind of pops on a lot of stuff. His short game and putting's been horrible, but still top 30 in DraftKings points. The guy right below him could very well be your winner this week. He's been playing so well, and I was shocked and kind of drooling from the mouth when I saw that his price dropped a couple $100 from last week. Coming off, this is just a no-brainer. In the pivot core 4, him and Morikawa kind of lead the way in the pivot core 4. I can't not click him.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't. I mean,
number 1 DraftKings points, top 5 putting, top 10 short game, 3rd strokes gained total the past 3 months. I don't know who's asleep over at or who's not watching golf at DraftKings, but I gotta be honest, I'd play Cameron Davis at 9,800 this week, so yeah, they could put his price wherever the hell they want.
And you can play him.
For all I'm concerned. I gotta play him. A name I haven't touched is Joaquin Niemann. You brought him up yesterday when we started talking. I haven't gotten there.
He is definitely a play.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not looking at Fantasy National, but what are his stats on there
So Neiman is 58th strokes gained total the past 3 months and 70th in DraftKings points. His best is ball striking and approach, which is kind of what we want this week. So, I mean, but he's Joaquin Neiman. You got to play him before his back breaks in half. So play him.
So he missed the cut last year, and the year before he shot he shot a 69, 8, 7, and 6.
Yeah.
So he got better the weekend.
Yeah, and the scores were really wonky last year. So yeah, play him. I can't tell you not to play him because I've seen him when he's going. It's like a machine. I mean,
you're gonna wish you had him. That's what happens when he's playing well.
Big old freaking rope hooks, and he's just on it. It's just killer. Brian Harmon, the Harmonator. He's broken my Harmonator a few times, but 8,000, that's pretty fair. But I haven't. I maybe 1 or 2 lineups, maybe.
I think I'd rather go down a little further.
Yeah, Keegan Bradley played well last week. You can definitely go Keegan Bradley. I'm sure he's having a hell of a time in Las Vegas too. I mean, I'm fine with Keegan Bradley. Doc Redman, I'm in on Doc Redman. He's still top 25 DraftKings points. He burned a lot of people last week, but he's really good, and he's getting into more seasoned guy playing on the PGA Tour. When he first started, it was 1 or 2 events and kind of got thrown into it last year, and I think he's getting comfortable on tour, and so I like that.
I mean, his numbers seem to be progressing, so
yeah.
I mean, other than last week was obviously a bad week.
Yeah, I don't have any Munoz, but I'm okay if you do. He's 13th in DraftKings points, and he's 56 strokes gained total. Oh, I'm sorry. He's 56 strokes gained total and 59th in DraftKings points. Yeah, I'm hit and miss with Munoz where I fall on him. Do you have any Munoz?
He's hit and miss.
What?
Munoz is hit and miss.
Yeah,
that's how he is.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and when I'm in this range, I'm clicking Charlie Hoffman. 13th in DraftKings points, 16 strokes gained total. And he's putting really, really well. He's playing really, really well. Another guy who plays well in desert golf. So I'm clicking Hoffman a lot. Cameron Smith.
Cameron Smith.
Yeah, where are you at with your boy Cameron Smith?
Cameron Smith is probably going to be just outside my core. Just outside my core. So I'll have a decent amount of him, but I'm not going to call him a core play.
Okay. I like it. What are your thoughts on Cameron Smith?
I like that he's got good history here. I mean, I'm not looking at Fantasy National. You probably have more there than I do. But I like him.
Our spreadsheets are awesome, so it's okay.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the spreadsheets, and that's what I'm saying is he shoots well here. So, and I think he's going to be very low owned.
I like it.
Which we like. So
I like
hopefully he finds the club.
Yeah, I'm going to keep riding the McCarthy train until the wheels fall off.
Of course you are.
I'm
he was
doing
in my first lineup I made.
I'm doing it. Listen, another guy.
That means you got to stack Poston and McCarthy, dude. They're right there.
Oh, and then you throw in some Siwoo Kim, and it's just looking so good. I have that exact lineup with the DeChambeau on top because guess where that leaves you with $7,600. So my DeChambeau lineup, I did DeChambeau, McCarthy, Hoffman, Poston, Siwoo Kim, and I don't remember. I'll do it real quick. Hang on.
I mean, he's arguably the best putter on the tour right now. So I would say if we're gonna go with good putters, and you're gonna tell us that's what we need to pick, he's your guy.
Yeah. So with DeChambeau, Hoffman, McCarthy, Poston, the postmaster coming in clutch last week, leaves you and Siwoo, who is number 3 DraftKings points, core 4 play, leaves you with $7,500, and I ran that down with Varner, Burns, Palmer, Snedeker, our boy Lonto Griffin, and even down to Ches Reavie.
What'd you do? You skipped Wise? What's wrong with Wise?
I don't think it's wise to play him this week.
Oh, okay. Got you.
So, I like the last time Wise shot really low and finished in the top 10. He followed that up with a 91st and a 108th. So prove me wrong, Aaron Wise. So this whole section here, if you click Bryson DeChambeau, this is your section. Here's the guys to play. Varner, Burns are my top two choices. I like Reavie. Griffin is Tyler's Abraham answer to me. I love Lonto Griffin. I'll play Lonto till the day I die. And McCarthy and Siwoo. My favorite lineup out of that section there is DeChambeau, Hoffman, Siwoo Kim, McCarthy, Poston, leaves you 7,500, and just run that down and see where we wind up. I have it in quarters. That's how I started building my quarter jukebox lineups right there. I really like that. I don't know how you can't. I really like Burns. I think Burns, people are over Burns after playing him so often. I think they're just over it and they want to go somewhere else. And, especially after Burnsing everyone last week, I'm not scared of Sam Burns, okay? I'm just going to say that. I'm not scared of it. Palmer ended the year really well last year. Snedeker played really well last week, like insanely well. He was rolling Tide like a motherfucker. And Lonto Griffin made the FedEx Cup playoffs last year, and he's $7,300. Give me a break. I can't even get over some of the pricing. Ches Reavie, 7,300. Like, if I had to bet my car on someone making the cut this week, it'd be Ches Reavie. Like, at 7,300.
Well, hopefully you wouldn't have said that during the U.S. Open.
No, of course not. That was a different animal, though. We're talking, this guy has Arizona Diamondbacks on his sleeves and his hats when he plays. He loves the desert. $7,300. Give me a break. You got to have them. And that, if you build DeChambeau, you can run this whole section and have cut makers and have guys playing well. Siwoo Kim at $7,500, that's like an auto click. Third in DraftKings points, 26 strokes gained total, 15th on approach. His worst stat is 66th. I'll take that all day. That's making the cut everywhere in stats alone. Siwoo Kim is absolute lock right there, in my mind. So I think that leaves us down.
All right. So what do you do? What do you do with the Dahmen to Ventura? Or how about this? The Dahmen to List. What do you do in that area? Take them all?
Hang on 2 seconds. Megan's calling me back to back. So what do you do with Dahmen?
Down to List.
Down the list?
You take them all.
Well, you cannot forget about Brendan Steele. Okay, first off, don't forget about him, because he's really, really solid. Doesn't score a shit ton of DraftKings points, but he's a really solid golfer and he can go low. The only problem with him is don't go crazy on him, but just don't forget about him. He's one of those guys that'll just be on the leaderboard right when you least expect it. He can score, but just don't forget about him, because I just have to mention him, okay? Because I mentioned him earlier.
And he shot in the 60s every round here last year, so
yeah,
he had a 65 on Sunday.
Yes, don't forget about him. He's 5th on approach, 23rd strokes gained total. If he's putting, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. All right, so Dahmen, okay. Dahmen has a lot of red flags, but at the same
Doesn't he always?
Yeah.
Top 10.
He has a lot of red flags, man. So this week I really like guys who have been playing. I have. Did he play last week? I'm so sorry. Let's see.
I don't believe so.
Dahmen.
No, he played in the Open.
Okay.
That was last.
Here's how it's going to go with Dahlman. I'm either going to eat these words,
And he's
but
going to finish top 10.
I want to see it before I click his name and waste my money. There's plenty of other guys in this area, even lower, that I like.
Yeah.
So
Ventura was on your list, wasn't it?
Ventura was on my list because he's third in DraftKings points and 13th stroke gain total. He finally lived up to all the stats last week, played really well. I don't see why not. Pat Perez, another guy, likes playing desert golf, plays really well. A name that I did not expect, James Hahn, 12th in DraftKings points, 24th stroke gain total. I didn't realize this until I was doing the top 10 list, and he was in the notables. I'm just like, James Hahn, holy shit. So I'm not going heavy on him, but I'm throwing some darts.
He finished 6th and 9th the last 2 tournaments that he was in.
Throwing some darts.
I do like Perez and List. They came up on the spreadsheets.
Yeah.
I do like those. Hahn definitely didn't notice that. I feel like Streelman, especially like at the Safeway, can show up when you least expect it.
Yeah, he really can. The game looks better than it did 5 years ago, which at his age is really cool.
Yeah, that's kind of almost scary, isn't it?
Yeah, like he's playing better. Like he's striping it. Like every shot tracer that he hits is like a fucking laser. It's just dead straight. It's gorgeous. I'm okay with Streelman. I'm okay with List. Just be ready for List not to make any putts.
Well, yeah.
just be ready. Sabatini started off his season last week and played really well. Definitely a name to consider if you're stacking the top. Sabatini, if you're looking at anything stats-wise, it's going to show a lot of bad stuff, but he had a really rough end to last year. It seems like he's kind of righted the ship last week. Norlander, our boy, Norlander, still not getting love, 6,900. Out of my 23 lineups, he's probably in half of them. At 6,900, I mean, how can I not?
Dude, listen, when I found him earlier in the year at like $6,200 or $6,300, and we started jumping that fucking train, dude, we've been making money off him all year long.
So here's where I found Norlander. Is in the first core 4, I stacked DeChambeau and Cantlay for the auto 200 points into my lineup, which left me with 6,950. So I said, how am I going to make this work in our favor? And I found our boy, Henrik Norlander, sitting right there, top 20 strokes gained total, top 22 DraftKings points. And I absolutely love it. And he went into the core 4, the main core 4 I made. And I really like it. The guy right underneath him, Tringale, has been super surprising the past 3 months, almost matching Norlander's numbers. But my other favorite play here at 6,900 is my boy Harry Higgs, the people's champ. Harry Higgs. He's just the man, dude. Like every interview I watch, I love. Every time I click on the TV, he's hitting some great shot and making eagles and scoring and just being freaking awesome. I absolutely love it. And when you click Cantlay, DeChambeau, Higgs, and Norlander, you got 7,000 to kind of go with there. I went Siwoo Kim and I think it was McCumber in one of my favorite lineups. And the thing I like about that is I have Cantlay and DeChambeau, 2 guys that can score 100 points at this golf course. And then I went Higgs, who can score low and play well. Norlander, who's been playing well. Norlander and Higgs both had top 10 finishes last week, which I love. Oh, I'm sorry, not last week. Their last starts. And Siwoo, 3rd in DraftKings pricing, like we talked about. And then McCumber coming off an awesome finish last week. Man, I love that lineup. That was one of my favorites. And then I did Piercy there as well. Another guy who we're going to get to play some play some good desert golf. I like that. But those are my guys. And then right below that, Taylor Gooch. I love Taylor Gooch not getting any love. Rogers really struggled last week, so I'm going to wait and see on him.
Same with Ortiz.
Making yeah, Ortiz, that poor guy. If he made every putt that he looked at, he would be the world champion of golf. That guy hits every fairway, hits every green, and shoots 80. It's unreal.
Yeah, I don't know how he does that. You got to have serious talent to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's like Mike Chaffee talent. McNeely was number 1 in putting. Write that down somewhere. And then Charles Schwartzel, 8th in DraftKings points the past 3 months. I know that's hard to believe. And I know a lot of people called his Masters win a fluke, but homeboy is playing some golf. Homie is playing some golf. So is Gooch. So look at it this way. Schwartzel and Gooch are both top 30 in strokes gained total. Schwartzel and Gooch are both top. Schwartzel's 8th. Gooch is 38th DraftKings points the past 3 months, and they're priced at both at 6,800.
So you should have a couple.
I think it's worth a shot for sure. The next best DraftKings guy down here, bare bottom here, is Sepp Straka, who's 16th in DraftKings points, and he's at 6,500, which is crazy. Malnati is 31st in DraftKings points and 46th strokes gained total. Good play. He's been playing well.
Yeah, I had him last week too, so that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Xinjun Zhang.
Before you get there,
yeah,
I got one person for you here that jumped out on the sheets.
Okay. While he's looking,
it is. Yeah, I got you. It's so Mr. Chesson Hadley has had one round above 69 in the past 3 matches here.
Really?
Thought that was interesting.
Writing it down. And listen, this is another reason why I don't mind paying up for guys this week. It's because of stuff like this. There's so much value down here. And usually when you get down here, it's like dog turds trying to pick from. And you just found Hadley. I love that. You have Straka at 6,500, 16th in DraftKings points, and like green across the board. You have all these guys down here. You got McCumber shot so low last week, playing so good, rookie.
Right.
You have Xinjun Zhang, who's like remarkably underpriced at 6,600. Like, it's just crazy. You have Hubbard, who like is like amazing.
The Chubb.
You got Piercy, who's a desert golfer and a veteran at 6,500. You got Warinsky, who like never misses a cut ever. Like, this is why I'm okay going up there, and that's why I was okay with the Cantlay DeChambeau stack, because I'm locking in 2 guys that should score 100 points, and I love that. And I love that, and that's why I made those guys the first core 4. But then I thought about it might be a little too crazy for some people to do. So then I pivoted, and, you know, you can read all that on WeLiveFantasy.com. You have the write-up, the top 10 list, and the pivot core 4. So all on there for you to read. Last guy I give a shit about, okay? All the way down here.
Wyndham Clark.
No, I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. The last guy I want to mention here is Robbie Shelton. He hasn't done.
Yeah, you bring him up like every third week.
I bring him up. Okay, it's one of those darts. Okay,
You know what? Every third week he does good. Now I know why you bring him up.
Take with it what you want. But if you want the guy that's less than 1% owned and you want to go super chalky everywhere else, why not throw a dart at him? 6,200.
He's like the Robert Rock of the PGA.
Okay, and then Camilo Villegas. I don't know how long you viewers have been watching or paying attention to golf, but back in Tiger Woods' video game 2006, you could play as Camilo Villegas, and he was the hottest damn thing. Gets down like a spider monkey, reads the greens, kind of fell off the face of the earth. Earlier this year, his daughter died from cancer and has been playing golf as therapy and therapeutic things, knocking the rust off, 121st and then 98th finish, and he figured out, he got the feel back last week and played really, really good. For a feel-good heart pick, just throw one at Camilo Villegas. There it is.
Villegas.
Camilo Villegas.
What'd you call me?
And then since we have you all here, if you are playing the European Tour this week, there are some really cool names playing the BMW event this week. Patrick Reed, Justin Rose, everything like that. I will do a quick little write-up on that and kind of just point out some things that I find interesting. But if you don't play Robert Rock, you're gonna feel bad for yourself, especially if you follow me on social media, because you get the daily dose of the Rock. And he's still under $8,000. So
and less than 1% owned.
I'll just leave it.
And was in second pretty much the whole tournament.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. He's $7,400 for a guy who leads the European Tour in most rounds under par. So you do the math. I mean, if he's not 60% owned this week, I will feel so bad for everyone who's playing, because he's going to be in every single one of my lineups, and there's nothing you can do besides make lineups on my phone or my computer to stop me. So, but I'll have a little write-up. I'll have a little core group. I'll have a little write-up. I'll dive into that. That tournament has a lot of history, so it's pretty easy to dive in. And we crushed Euro Tour last week, so I actually had a request for it. So there it is.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. Hey, I did too, and I know nothing about the Euro Tour. I put in one single entry and won $20 off it. I was like,
why? Because you played Robert Rock.
I played Robert Rock, dude. And Molinari.
So there it is. Thank you so much for watching. Click the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Instagram, WLF Bets, WeLiveFantasy.com, NASCAR, PGA, Showdown Slates, everything you need. Hope you guys have a great day.
This week. If y'all are NASCAR fans, watch, listen, make the money.
That's right. Happen. That's right. Listen, that's
the last time we were on a road course, I took down the truck lobby, so let's do it.
That's right. 10K in your pocket, and you were there, so how could that get any better? If you guys have any questions about building lineups, or if you're in between one or two players, reach out to us. It'll get to us. We will find it, and we will answer you. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
See ya.